Thanks everyone for joining. Today we are going to talk about the Build Smarter, unleashing the Sitecore AI agents. So AI agents are the viral thing in Sitecore world because everything is SaaS based, and we'll see like how in Sitecore XM Cloud, which is called now Sitecore AI, is going to be the next generation of intelligent and composable experiences. And we'll see like how to build the agent and how we can create a workflow and how agents can talk to each other. We'll see everything in the demo. And so who we are, just trying to go to the next slide. Bala.
Hey everyone, Bala here. You're a Psycho Technology MVP, also Coveo MVP. And I'm a practice director at CEI, mostly working in and around Sitecore. Back to you, Madhu.
Thank you, Bala. I'm Madhu Anbargan. I'm a Sitecore Technology MVP, Coveo and DX MVP, working for Infosys as a principal architect. Here are the handles to reach out to me. Moving on to the next slide. So what we are going to cover today is we are going to cover the basics and the overview of what is the Sitecore AI Agentic Studio is and how it can empower the chats and how we are going to build the agents. Once we build the agent, how we are going to utilize the agents in the flow, signals, and spaces. So these are the areas where we can utilize the agents into a full potential. We are going to explore everything in a demo. So the demo is the key part where we are going to show like everything from scratch. So let's get started. Moving on to the what is Sitecore Agentic AI Studio? So basically, like it is a composable architecture, and basically, like we have some out of the box architecture. We have some out of the box featured agents, and some other agents are available where we can utilize the actual agents, or we can duplicate the agents and tweak it to according to our needs, and we can take it further, or we can create a custom agents as well. So in today's demo, I'm going to create a custom agent with a particular scenario and with a prompt and a framework for the prompt, and we are going to see how we can create a custom agentic AI. And we have some out of the box feature agents as well, which are really, really good, like where it creates the content, where we can translate the content, where we can create bulk creation, blog writing. It can research from the tools, like it can connect to the different tools like a Google or any of the search tools we give, or it can talk to the like either a ChatGPT AI or a Claude API or any API we give. It can connect to the API, do the research, and come back with what we want. Also, if we want our research to be done to our own documents, we can drag the documents as well. We can provide what set of documents we want, and then from there we can ask the questions like notebook LLM. Like similar concept is applied over here as a researcher agent. So there are some really good out of the box agents as well, which can fit into our needs. In Sitecore world, we constantly create the press release templates, blog articles. We translate the content. We can bulk generate the press release articles. I mean, the n number of use cases we can efficiently use, and the marketing team can really benefit from the agents. So with this, let me go to the chats. So basically, there is a chat assistant available as well, where we can talk to the agent, like picking up like which agent we want, and then we can provide the input as like, say for example, if there is an existing blog that we can take the URL, and we can ask the chat to talk to the. I mean, the chat can go to the URL, and it can get the content, and then it can research on it and come back with suggestions. Or we want the SEO score for the agent, or we want to rewrite the content, or how it is performing, or we want to create a campaign for that page. Whatever we want, we can ask the chat to. I mean, in the chat, we can pick what agent we want, and then from there, we can either give the context as a full input as a as the page content, or we can provide the URL to talk to the to go and fetch the content, and we can utilize it on the chat. So the chat is really comfortable. Once the marketer starts using it, it's going to really benefit our team. With this, I'm moving on to the agents. So agents is the heart of the system where where we can utilize the out of the box agents, or we can customize it, or we can tweak it according to our needs. And it is completely configurable. It is based on the prompts, and we can configure the output format as well, like which format we want. We can provide the HTML template. We can provide whichever the format, JSON format, and also once that agent is created, we can export it as a JSON file, and we can export it to any dev environment, like any environment we want, or different like if you are participating in a hackathon or something, like we can just export the JSON file to the GitHub, and it is all ready to go. All they need is they can just import the JSON file, and your agent is ready to be working. So it is as simple as that. The benefits are like numerous. So with this, I'm gonna get into the demo part. Just a second. Let me switch. Just a second. I'm here in the Sitecore Agent Studio. So here is my Sitecore AI. So where you can see that there is a tab called Agentic AI. So here inside the, let me go to the overview. So basically over here, we have the chat enabled, and we have the featured agents. So here inside the see all agents, like we have 17 agents which are readily available. It can like we can utilize like to the core, to the needs, like AEO and SEO researcher. Like I mean, this is gonna be a game changer for the marketing team. Where they create the content throughout the day, but when they utilize it, it's gonna like persona creator, auditor, bulk generator, content generator, translator, blog writer, researcher. It's awesome. It's awesome to the core. So these are the out of the box agents, and to create a custom agents. So I have created a couple of agents and flows here, but let me start creating a new agent. So when we say create, so we get two different options, one with an agent, one with an workflow. So once the agents are created, then we can connect the agents through the workflow, so that the one agent input can talk to the other agent's output. So basically we can create a flow chart of what needs to be done in the workflow. But let's start with an agent. So here it is. So it's a standard agent. So I'm gonna create an agent called like I'll just say PGH RSUG, our Sitecore user group demo. And I'll just give a brief description of like saying this is the demo for Pittsburgh Sitecore user group. And so instructions, this is the main important part where we needed to define the prompts. So like for the prompt template, we can use any framework we want. What I really like is a clear framework. It is called, let me go through the clear framework. So here I'm planning to create an agent for the content improvement suggestion agent. So basically we can take the existing content, and then we can see what suggestions it's going to be. Like how is the tone is going to be, how is the personas are performing, how is like what is the end user, like whoever is like say for example Sitecore AI documentation. If we take so the developers are going to read the Sitecore documentation, and we are going to see like how the tone is going to be, like is it positive, neutral. We can the prompt is going to be like coming up with an suggestions of in a different tones. So there are like n number of prompt templates available, but here is my prompt template. Let me start sharing my screen. So this is called like suggestions prompt template which I came up with. So the clear framework defines it's like CLE and R. I mean CLEAR. So basically C stands for context. So we need to give like what context the agent is going to perform with. So here I'm just going to say that this is the agent which is going to perform like persona based content improvement suggestions agent. So based on your persona, it's going to come up with an improvement suggestion. So I'm going to say that like how we define the role, like you are an Sitecore expert or you are an Sitecore architect. Um, we just define the role first. So same thing over here. We are defining the role of like what it is going to do. Once we have defined the role, then we are going to give the logic. So basically what it needs to give. So in the prompt, we generally give that role and then the problem statement. The same thing over here, like what it is going to do. So it's going to analyze the content. So this is the input which comes with the two brackets. But but either it can be a URL or an content page that we can pick it from the existing Sitecore site. So so basically, it has some flexibility that whether we wanted to provide the content or the content page or the URL, it could be anything. And what it's going to do, it's going to do that the tone, sentiment, keywords, content type, structure. Like it's going to analyze like all different ways that how the content is going to be, and it's going to score against the persona score against how is the tone match and the keyword match and the alignment with our pain points and the sentiment match and the content type match. So basically, we can pick and choose whatever we want. But here I'm just going to analyze in 5 different ways. And and here, like, I'm just going to give an instruction about like what we wanted to give the instruction as. And once that the user provides an URL, it is going to search with the tools. So basically, when we give the URL, we need to configure the tools as like search that URL in the Google. So there are some n number of tools available which we are going to see in the demo. So that's what we are mentioning over here. If the content is URL, then use the tools to fetch the content. The same thing. So once we have the inputs are available, then the output part we are like splitting into 2 different sections. One within like persona name, tone suggestions, sentiment suggestions, like all different suggestions by each one of them. This is going to be the first part, and then the second part is going to be the summary of the analysis. So once it gives that detailed ones, then we are asking we are asking the agent to give the summary of analysis. That where is the misalignment, what needs to be improved, and how the suggestions are going to be aligned with what we want in the personas. So the same thing. So once that output is there, then we are actually providing the example of how we want the output to be. So here I'm defining in a table that this is the persona tone, and like this is how, I mean, I'm providing the example that this is how I want the results to be. So here I'm just providing an 2 different examples with an like I used to work in the utility sector. So so I'm just giving an 2 different example as energy conscious homeowner and the renter homeowner. So based on that, it's going to give a summary of like this is the format it's going to give. So the examples are also really important, that how it needs to give the results. So that way, it's not going to hallucinate or otherwise, like if we don't give this, like if we give a simple prompt or something, it's going to hallucinate and it's going to give the generic results. The more the clear the prompt, the better the results are. So that's why I'm sticking with that clear framework, because we are giving like each and everything, that what is the context, what is the logic, what is the example, what is the action it needs to do, how is the results we want. So the more the detail it is, the better the results are. So moving on to the action. So basically, so on the action, whether we can give the keyword suggestions as well. So so over here, it has the keyword suggestions for SEO and AEO and GEO. So so here, like we can type in like with at, so it knows that this is the researcher it needs to go and find. And same here, it is with the step one as like how we want the results to be, and same for the step two, how we needed the results to be as well. And the refinement, the output, like how it is with respect to the jargon, tone, with respect to the persona, like how it is in alignment with the business objectives. So at the end of it, it's going to give us the give us like how relevant it is to the article is how relevant it is to the business objectives. If not, we can ask the agent to rewrite the thing as well. So similar thing, there is another agent I have created is once the suggestions are made, then we are gonna rewrite the agent. So for rewriting the agent, the similar thing, I'm gonna say the clear framework with what we wanted to rewrite. Basically, it's gonna get the input as the other one, and it can talk to this agent like based on the suggestions. It's gonna rewrite the agent, and it's gonna score as well that before it was like this, and after rewriting, this is what it's going to be. So basically we are saying that once it's rewritten, calculate the new score and show us the results. So let's get into, I'm just going to copy paste this suggestions prompt. And so basically the tree is the prompt. So uh, you can pick and choose any framework you like, but this is what I'm sticking with it because it has like everything and it gave the better results. So once that prompt is all set, then we are going to move to the tools where it can do the web search. Like when we provide the URL, it can do the web search. The same thing, it can save the artifacts, it can do the content retrieval. Once it goes into the web, it can retrieve the content based on the knowledge. It can even generate an image generation. Right now, I'm going to skip the image generation because basically it takes a lot of tokens to generate the image for the LLM. So just skipping it for now. And so the tools are the external things where it can talk to the web search or content retrieval or anything we want. And moving on to the APIs. Basically, like whether we can provide an external URL or an external content, or in realistic situation, we wanted to give our own site, our pages, our content. If we like, we can give the components, assets, personalization, like everything we want, images, the scheduled jobs, briefs and brand kits, like anything we want from our website, we can provide, we can pick and choose as well. So for now, like I'm just picking the sites and pages and content to be for the simplicity, but we can like the assets, image generation, anything we want, we can simply pick and we can go with it. So so this is the agent API, and moving on to the default context. So this is where the MCP comes into picture, where we can actually connect to the Sitecore documentation MCP, or if we have a marketer MCP available, we can choose the marketer MCP as well. If we have a brand kit available for our website, we can choose the brand kit as well. But right now, I'm just going to stick with the Sitecore documentation MCP. And moving on to the skills. So the skills are where we wanted to we wanted to extend to an CSV file or a text file, or whether we wanted to create the campaign planning, like where like we create the content calendars, like to manage the complete set of like which week which content is going for. This is for generally for the bulk generation, or email campaigns, or those stuff where we can manage which audience segmentation, lot of marketing content, the personas and the target. Like it's all about that marketing segment. Similar to it, but in general, we can, if we have an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file, we can upload it as well. But right now, like I'm just gonna skip it to be for the simplicity, and the output format, whether we want it in a text or whether we want it in a JSON file. So we have defined all the agents. So I'm going to create an agent. So it's just a few seconds, it's already done. So let's run the agent now. So here we can pick an agent, we can pick an item from our own website, or we can provide an context like copy pasting the content over here, or we can also we can provide some RAG concept as well, like PDF file or CSV file or a image or anything. This is purely the RAG concept. So right now I'm just going to pick it from the website. So I'm just going to say add items, and I'm picking one of the collection. And here, which website I wanted to point to. And here I have created just a sample page with an Sitecore AI content. So I'm just going to say add. So it's added the item and it is saved. So basically on the sample page, just a second. So basically on the sample page, I have just put in some simple content. I have just taken the Sitecore AI documentation and I have just pasted over there. Um, I'm not sure it's not loading. That's okay. So let's run the agent. So I'm just going to start the agent. So as we start the agent and we can see like what all it's doing. So it's going to say that it's calling the API, it is calling the agent, getting the context. Yeah, so basically we can see all the logs over here. And if it errors also, we can see the error. So while it's thinking, it's actually gives the logs, which is really a nice one. So this is going to take some like 30 seconds or more. So meanwhile, let me go to the another agent. Let me duplicate. Okay, so I have it over here. So this is the another agent, that content improvement rewrite agent. The same thing, if we go inside, the same thing, agent name, description, and the clear framework prompt, and the tools, and the agent API, and the same thing, and just saying the output format to be text, and save the changes. And let's run this agent as well meanwhile. So it's the same concept, but I just wanted to show you the difference between like once the suggestions came in, how it is rewriting the agent. Once it's rewrite, we can even update the page from the rewrite as well. So I'm taking the same sample page and saving it, and I'm just going to run the agent as well. Let both the agents run at the parallel. Okay, so the first agent gave the results. So this is going to be a text format. So we can generate the image content, everything if you want a flashy output. But it's going to take up more tokens. So sticking with the simplicity. So here are the personas where the Sitecore AI documentation is for front-end developers, back-end developers, architects, DevOps, digital content manager. So the suggestions, it is giving the suggestions for the front-end developer, back-end developer, and solution architect, and DevOps engineer, what all we need to change. Same thing for the content manager as well. And it's giving the summary of analysis, that where is the misalignment, how is the tone, and how is the sentiment. It is neutral, and content type, and the structure, the keywords, the SEO keywords, and the pain points, like where we have the pain point when reading the documentation. The same thing with so once it gave like everything, now it is giving the suggestions as where we can improve the things. So it is saying that how we can improve it by splitting the content into two different things. The confidence and the speed, operational clarity, decision support, like everything, and it is giving the persona as well, that how like which target, which segment we are going to target. So if we are targeting for front end developer, what we need to do, or if we are targeting all the personas, then what we need to change by each and every segment. So, so this is the suggestions agent's output, and let's check the rewrite agent's output. So this is more interesting because it has rewritten the content. So basically, what it does is it fetched all the content from the sample page. So basically, it's that getting started with Sitecore AI. So it fetched everything and similar thing that who we are targeting and what we are going to accomplish and so basically it has rewritten the complete page. So fed first and what is the prerequisite step by step, how we are going to set up. So let me show the page, the actual page, how it was before. Just a second. It was just previewing mode, so that's why it wasn't coming through. Um, hopefully here it is. Here it is. Sorry, let it load. That's okay. So basically it has rewritten everything and it is going to give a score as well. That these are the references it took from the web and it has applied to it and so it is giving the score as like original content has this is the score and what is the score right now like after rewriting it. So revised content targeting for the front end developer and the revised content has this like close to 90. Most of them are close to 90. So after everything is revised, if we like the content, we can update the content straight from here as well. So um, so so this is all about the agents and Bala is going to show the workflows and signals and spaces where we can connect the agent and we can see like how flows through each input to the each agent's input to the other one. And with this, I'm going to give it to Bala. Just a second. Sorry. Bala.
Yep. Thank you, Madhu.
No problem.
Let me share my screen. No one's able to see it.
Yes. Yes, Bala.
Okay, the next thing, let me move this here. Thank you. So the next thing we are going to look into is flows. Flows is more like an orchestration engine. In simple terms, you can think this of a workflow. If you Madhu showed you around creating those agents, then those different agents can be connected together. Source being one of the agent source, being the Sitecore item, and then the output being a source to the next item, and then we can keep moving on. So basically, it's more like a workflow, and then it is scalable. You have different agents that you created, then you can use that with the flows available. So the next one we are looking into is signals. Signals is nothing but in Agentic Studio, specifically it targets around the signal that happens within the social media channels and other things. Basically, if you give a particular area like healthcare or retail or a particular space the clients are using, then automatically it keeps continuously tracking for signals in that particular vertical in the space. So whenever it sees any news or any tweets or Facebook articles or anything around that, it keeps monitoring that, and then it kind of gives you a signal, and that signal can be used within your flows. Whenever you see this thing, and then you can use trigger a flow. Next one, next one is spaces. Space is more like you can think about as a collection or like a grouping of your agents for a particular task. So you're looking at creating a campaign for your upcoming sale or something, then you're creating a space where everything is organized within that particular topic. And then you're using all your agents. You can choose what agents you want for that particular task or towards your campaign. Like you want to create an image or you want to create a page with your social banners and things like that. So those are spaces. We'll just take a quick look. So going into the agentic studio, Madhu did cover about the chat and agents. And if you move into the flows, you are seeing these are the flows that are available out of the box from Sitecore. Excuse me. So here it has this simple adaptive optimization. You can clearly see it's a research, generate, analyze, and optimize. And here, this one, you can see it's a extract content, research, generate, and create variants. The same with this one. So let's go back into agents for a second. This is where you'd be creating the flow. So once I click create, and then you can clearly see there is a workflow here. So once you go into the flow, this is how you typically create a new workflow. These are unique IDs. It can be a different, any name you want. And then you can give a description. And then you can say what this workflow is for, like with the title. And what is it for, how it works. And you can give all those details. So the next person who is looking into the flow, they could understand like what exactly and how it is defined. So moving down, you see this inputs. In the input, you can have a label description, and you can choose either it can be a prompt or it can be a context or a file upload or a drop down or a checkbox. You can choose what you want. And then according to that input, the workflow will start the process. And you do have a import export JSON. And also if you go into the parameters, you can add any parameters you want. And these parameters can be internally used. Moving on to the schema, it's the same thing. You can add a simple schema with some properties, or you can go into the advanced mode, go into the JSON where you can say what are the properties, is it required or not. All those things you can define here. Moving on to the HTML templates. It is again, these templates can be used within your workflow. That's the reason we are creating it according to different conditions. You can pick up which templates you want to use and then use it there internally. So here you have a code view or a preview mode, and use those. And then this is your actual meetup setting where where it will be a manual trigger, and then you can add steps here. And when you do the add step in those new actions, you have like a different kind of flows here. One is to invoke your agent. And then if you go into the content generation, they have the generate content, save a content, compose a message, or compose a variant, generate an image. So if you go further down into the context parameters, so these are basically extracting the context parameters when you saw in the first option when you're doing in the prompt, or pulling those parameters and then retrieving that. And you can see this context extract, review, normalize, and then they can also retrieve the context artifacts. If you're uploading a document or anything, they could use those things. And here you can see in the control flow, you can have a if-else condition or a for loop, or go to an action. Data processing, you can see this parse accounts, formatted data, and upload, updated particular document. You can also make REST endpoints call using this HTTP. Most of the times, it could be used to be triggering a webhook or calling in a webhook when something is happening. And whenever you put the human in loop, basically that's a manual intervention. You can you can make this as a human in loop, and then you can do that. So when I go back here, and then there is a deep research or a structured research. So when you're giving a particular topic that you want to build a blog article or a particular campaign around it, you can put it in the flow to do a deep research on that particular topic, give me an output, and then that can be going back to a content creation agent that could do that. And then another agent can validate it, then human can be in the loop, and then eventually do it. And then there is also an invoke tool, which is more like a existing tools you can use. Here you can see all these options are there. Once you choose the tool, there are a few tools that are available out of the box. basically like doing a web search, or you can list the sites, get a particular site or a particular page or pages, and then it can do the update content, delete content. And these are like more like the MCP out of the box that you can invoke with Sitecore. We take a quick look at the workflow that we already created. Let me try to edit this. Just created a simple workflow here. This will give you an idea. So basically I'm manually triggering it, then passing that and saying like this particular page, can you send it to the content improvement suggestion agent? Once that is completed, it provides the suggestions. Then we use a rewrite agent. The Madhu was creating. So those two agents, once that is completed, it goes back into a human in loop. And then eventually you are saving the document within Sitecore. It's like a simple workflow. We just want to show you this. I mean, do an export JSON. You get the JSON of that particular workflow. Eventually that could be parsed or used in other places that you can pull back in. It gives the workflow and all the steps and what ID, all those things in JSON. Let's go back. The next one I wanted to show is signals. So right now I already gave the signals. So wait, that's not the one I was trying to do. What was it? Okay. So the next one is signals. I already created a signal, so I don't see that option of creating a signal. This is once you create a signal, basically it gives you a name. Why are you creating a signal? And what is the field that you're looking for? In this case, I already gave healthcare as my vertical that I'm looking for. And then it keeps running, and then it will look for the signals in the web, like in Twitter and news and in general. So for example, it did pick up these three options. I just created this right before the meeting. So you can see this, it picked up an article from April 22nd, April 9th. You can see this one. It's the signal 2, and then it gives all the details. Why is it important? What you need to do, all those details here. And then eventually can use these signals. So this is what is happening in the world today around healthcare, and then you can act on it. Either you create a blog article around whatever the signal is, or you can create any news related to this item. And then you can see regulatory. So there are 3 different signals that you can brief. So this is like a constant, it constantly watches the market. And if there is any signals, basically that's why they named it as signals. So if it sees anything that is related to healthcare, it's going to put it in here and then trigger an alert for you. So the third piece that I want to cover, which is spaces. Spaces, let's see what's going on. Okay, times it does that. Spaces is nothing but you can create a space. You can see there are 2 options already available. Bulk updates, which is across many items that you want to do a content update or a review process and everything. Or you can creatively generate a content like a blog article or news or anything in that area. Or you can start from something from scratch. Basically, you give a title, you give a description. And in this part, where you can choose multiple agents, you can use their existing agents from the system, like a researcher agent, a translator agent. And if you go further down, you also have all these custom agents that we created, or the flow that we created. You can choose all of those. And then here you can see what items you want to choose, where I can go here. I can pick up the CMS to find the content tree, and I can add items or a particular site. Or you can go into the artifacts, where you can add any artifacts like a document or a PDF or briefs if you have created any. And then there is another option also where you can give the CSV items. Choose, if I do the integration and then do SDK, you can see that the Sitecore sample page and the demo we gave. We can just choose those and then save. Um, you have so many agents, and then in the parameters, you can choose. Because I added the translator agent, it is asking me those additional values. If I don't do that, there is nothing here. And then I can create an agent. Sorry for the glitch. So you can see the space is ready. So here you can see each of these researcher, and then you can start running. It will take some time, but once you run that, you will get those data back. Here you can say what is the context of the page, and you can have an objective. Okay, this is what I'm trying to achieve. This is my space. I'm going to use all these agents to achieve what I'm looking for. So pretty much that's the end of the demo here. Thank you everyone for joining us today. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer.
Thanks, Balaji and Madhu. On the signal side, right? You said you have added already, right? If, for example, if you want to add something related to cookie policy related stuff, so do we need to search? Once it is searched, will it show something, or how did you add?
So basically, when I'm not
Okay.
able to add it again, to be honest, to show you, but when I added that option, basically it's, for example, if you think from the company aspect, if they're looking for a particular different verticals, like you said, you are looking for a particular cookie thing, then you can add that as a, you're saying like, okay, I'm in the healthcare industry. I'm specifically looking at cookie policy. You can define all those details, what you're looking for. And then it constantly monitors the internet for anything that's happening around that. So if there is a policy or, in California, if they come with a new thing around the cookie policy, a new mandate that came for healthcare, then automatically it throws it as a signal. So that way, when you open the signals, then you say, oh, okay, this is happening in the industry. So earlier we used to go and manually look into articles or news, and rather now the AI is doing the job for us. Like it's constantly monitoring the market for anything that is happening around the vertical or a particular topic that you're giving. You can give multiple topic. The vertical top line is going to be one, and then you can have multiple topics within that.
Okay.
And I have a question regarding the same signals. So
Yes,
you
Rick.
mentioned like yeah, when there is something happening around the world, it will signal us. Upon that, what action we need to take? Say, for example, if we have to create a certain blog page within the website, for
Yeah.
example.
Mhm.
So how we do that? Um, uh, I'm sorry if you are already told that, maybe I missed it,
No, that's
but I just
fine. Absolutely, that's okay. Don't worry about that. So basically, when those signals happen, where is the signals? So when those signals happen, like for example, this one is coming through, you can make this as a source for your flow. And then from there,
okay.
you can take it forward.
Mm,
And then, with
Got
the flow, however you want to do it, like
yeah,
you want
yeah.
build an article, or even take this as a source for your space, and then say like, hey, I got a signal around this, like how about we build a news article connected with my brand kit. So that way, for example, like I'm a particular healthcare industry and I have my own brand guidelines that I need to follow. So in that case, I can
Mhm.
combine those two and then come up with an article that you can post. All this
Yeah,
will be the source,
got it.
but then you can use flows or agents to do the rest of the job.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, I didn't realize the trigger, it can be act as a trigger for one of the flow.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
make it.
good thing to know. And the second one, what I would like to ask is about the tools actually.
Mhm.
The tools, I think out of the box, we have seen some very basic things, generally around content creation and updating and publishing everything.
Okay.
Uh, so these tools, can that be extended, or say if there will be like anything coming in the future to that set?
So at the moment, it's like a slow growing tool. Like initially, if you saw, they just started with Sitecore MCP server, some basic tools, and then slowly
Okay.
we got like a web search. So it's going to be extended. To answer your question, like, can I have my custom tool plugged in here? At the moment, the answer is no, you can't.
Okay.
The existing
Okay.
tools is what you can. And if you are creative, for example, I had the HTTP trigger that you can do. So in that case, you can call your external MCP server,
Yeah.
get the data back, and then you can be creative on that.
Yeah. Calling APIs in the
Yeah,
flow and
APIs
doing
or
the
your
job
custom
done.
tools with some certain parameters, get the data back, and then you can use that. At the moment, like, would Sitecore support you having a custom tool? No.
Okay. Got you. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying that.
No worries. Any other questions we have?
Yeah. Just need to explore more to ask
Yeah,
more
this is
questions.
all this is all brand new, so we are also learning together. So it's not
Correct.
something we have been using this in multiple projects, and now we are just exploring. We are just sharing what we have learned so far, and just trying to educate the community here at the best.
Yeah. Understood. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No worries. Okay, I think Madhu, we should be good.